Man, what is going on? We are back here today. Professor Agency rang us up. He said we gotta talk about Generation 8 Agency. We talk about Dynamax today. We gotta make a whole vid about Dynamax this time. I've been thinking about doing this for a while, but now that we finally have gotten more information about what Dynamax really is and the hype has kind of died down a little bit, we figured why not talk about what this is and what it could bring about for Generation 8. So I'm with Sama as always, the Agency, research division. Alright, Sama, why don't you hop right into it? What you want to say? What do you think about Dynamax? Off the rip.
I was looking at it and I was like, first, as everybody was looking at it from the outside in when we saw the trailer that was gasming and everybody was, hyped up with the trailer and the wreck. I thought, oh no, it's broken. Everybody's going to have a mega evolution with Z-move attacks and it's, right?
Yeah, of course.
But everybody, we quickly got calmed down and we're like, don't worry about it. It's only 3 turns. Don't worry about it, right?
3 turns, yeah.
3 turns of Z moves, it still sounds like broken. Like, we don't know, right?
Yeah, people were saying stuff like every single Pokemon needs to run Protect, otherwise you're gonna lose to Dynamax. That was like, I remember people were saying stuff like that.
Yeah. A day or if not 2 days before we got the confirmation that gonna be in. A lot of people were already crying like, oh, Dynamax Lando broken. Dynamax Men's broken, Dynamax blah 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 broken, all of the monsters gonna be broken, Dynamax Beginning, Dynamax Toxic, all this bullshit, right?
Yeah.
Then people stopped and were like, okay, those monsters are gone, most likely.
Yeah, they're not returning. That's what people think. A lot of the Gen 7 mons like Magearna, Tapus, Landers, people are assuming a lot of these aren't gonna return. But if they do,
which is fair to think, right?
But even if they do come back, it's hard to just say that Dynamax will instantly break them because people were under the assumption that Dynamax is what? Like mega boost to all stats, like unbeatable Pokemon. You know
exactly.
what I mean?
And we're gonna get into why all of that is not true.
Yeah.
After that happened, after that little phase of okay, those are not gonna be in. People started looking at the mons that were confirmed, and we did see mons that were confirmed. We saw Weavile,
true,
Gyarados. People were instantly saying, well, Moxie, Gyarados with the Dragon Dance and Dynamax boost is gonna set up and sweep through the game. Don't worry about it. It's gonna be over again. Blah blah blah.
You can look at the mons actually in the game too, and you can see some of the mons that are able to set up. People were just gassing up stuff like Tyranitar and stuff, thinking like it'll be too much. I mean,
people were saying, if you look at the Galar decks that we got so far, Weavile destroys everybody.
Yeah. But like
there's nobody that.
But we don't even know. But like, let's talk about what we're really here for. This Dynamax, the demo. So what we got revealed was that Dynamax mons only get an HP boost. So shout out to Jabaku for the images. But from what you can see here, you can see that the HP on this Corviknight is 177 in its regular form. Let me zoom in a little bit so it's easier to see. And then the Dynamax version has the exact same stats except for HP, which is 265 now, which is exactly 1.5 times the amount it is when it's not Dynamax. So we're thinking that Dynamax gives a 50% boost to HP and then does not affect the other stats.
One stat that gets boosted, right? Which immediately makes us think, wow, that's way more tame than all of the stuff that we thought about. We already were on the edge, like you can't know if it's good or bad because we literally don't know what the rest of the decks is. Exactly. We've only seen Impy Dimpy or Impdick or Limpdick and PC Pampers or Yamper, the Dogmon. We don't know if those are gonna evolve. We don't know if there's any new moves, any new terrains. Like, it's too much of a question mark for people to start assuming about this mon's gonna be broken, that mon is gonna be broken, or this mechanic is trash, or this mechanic is good, right? Yeah. So now that we have, it's not a mega evolution boost. Away the worry that people were having,
yeah,
right?
Because people were like, oh, this is even better than Megas, like all the stat boost, it's even though it's only for 3 turns. But now that we know the stats aren't improved, it's just the HP, this is not that big of a deal.
It's threatening. It's not threatening.
Like there are very few Pokemon that would take a 50% HP boost over a boost to all their other stats, right?
Exactly.
Because a Pokemon that's bad does not instantly become great because it has more HP. What? Its stats are still garbage, its typing is garbage, its moves are garbage. Those are the things that really matter. Having a little more HP just means you stick around and do nothing for a few extra turns. Like, what Pokemon can you think of that when it gets the 50% HP boost, okay, then it's over? Like, yeah, maybe some bulkier mons, but even then it's like,
like it's gonna be a very specific scenario with a mon that's a very specific set and EVs and all that stuff. which is an anomaly. You gotta throw that out the window. Like what we gotta look at is like, especially since you know it's only 3 turns. Like they said it off rip, it's only 3 turns. Don't worry, right?
Mm-hmm. It says only
People
3 turns.
yeah, looking at it.
But nah, it
Then
doesn't look as threatening as we
because
thought,
of this demo, brought like took away the worry since it's only HP boost. But then people also realized and figured out that this Dynamax mechanic does not require an item like a Mega Stone, and it does not require any designated mon. Like you don't have to like. From what we know, what we gathered, it doesn't like you cannot see from lead or like before the battle starts. Oh, his Dynamax mon is Corviknight. His Dynamax mon is Gyarados.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like when it comes to battle play, what does that mean? That means any mon can Dynamax at any time.
Yeah, so people were like, because and we can compare that to Z moves, because Z moves you also don't know which Pokemon's going to use the Z move or what it's going to be.
You didn't know which Z move. You had to guess. You had to make it
obviously, Pokemon loves that whole surprise bullshit, but that's not even a factor now. Well, I mean, it still is a factor. It's a surprise, but it's less threatening. It would have been way more threatening.
Want to know why? Want to know why? Because
it's just HP. It's nothing else. Like there's no offensive super threat. And this
it doesn't matter,
bro. This continues to go back to the theory that they're trying to rebalance the game and kill the big power creep.
Exactly.
The fact that this doesn't even give power is just like, it's like, so what? This is just a novelty that gives a little bit extra HP compared to Megas and compared to Z moves. This is really lazy and like unimpressive to me.
I think it's lazy. I don't think it's lazy. I'm gonna tell you why in a bit. But I was looking at it and it was like, with this boost, the way they set it up and stuff like that. Especially like you said with Z moves, like you don't know what the Z move is. Like you actually got
you're breaking up a little bit. You're breaking
up. You realize, oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, your quality is kind of shit.
Crazy. How about now?
Yeah, it sounds better now.
Okay, so like from the beginning, everybody was running all kind of Z moves. You didn't know. You had Mega Z Coco, you had Z Coco, you had Z Pheromosa. It was just a shit show, right? It was chaos.
You never knew what was gonna happen.
But as the meta progressed, people realized, 9 times out of 10, the Magina is gonna be Z move, right?
Lander's gonna be Z
or the Lando, or the Komo, or this. It's way easier because you can guess, right? But with this, it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter what the Dynamax mon is gonna be. Like, you know what? So that takes away that edge of you gotta realize Z, you gotta pay Z.
Because it's not like you're gonna be like, if this Pokemon gets 50% more HP, it's over for me. Like that's not gonna happen. That's not. Meanwhile, Magirna, like if this uses Z Twinkle Tackle, it's over for me. Yeah, that's fine. Like that makes sense. It's not gonna be like, man, if this thing has an extra 100 HP, I'm done. That's not how it works. So
it's not at all. Because like in the previous metagames, you literally had a 50-50 on a Z move.
Yeah.
Whether it was Twinkle Tackle or Z auto pummeling was a big deal. Like the threshold for either winning or losing the game was so small.
Also,
like even
HP,
with the Mega,
HP isn't as important as defenses are.
Yeah, because you have moves that do 12% of HP with chip, 6% moves, like all kind of stuff.
HP is so useless compared to having a defense boost to begin with. So if they gave him a stat boost in defenses, it would have been more effective than just HP. Like this is less competitively viable, I think.
This is it's less competitively viable, but because I feel like it is a great attempt at trying to stabilize the game. Like this makes the playing field more. It makes it more fair. It makes it more fair.
Let's think about this. Let's think about this for a second. It's 3 turns, right? So does that mean after 3 turns you lose a bunch of HP, or you go back down to your regular base HP? Like you go back to the percentage you would have been at that HP. Is it like that? So after 3 turns you lose your HP? Like you go back down to your regular form? I would assume that's how it goes.
I would guess you lose the 50% boost.
Yeah, so would I. So
I feel like you do.
Let's see. So we already talked about how this compares to Megas and Z moves. Would you say it's a good mechanic or a bad mechanic?
Thinking about it, like I feel like it's still too early, and the reason why, because you gotta see the practicality. Like, how does this unfold? Like, obviously, like there is gonna be some mon that is gonna appreciate that 50% boost. Like, there's gonna be like, Gyarados doesn't Dynamax right now, takes the hit, you get 2 hit KO'd. But boom, he Dynamaxes on the second turn, he lives the second second hit, and then he sweeps, like some shit like that, right? I feel like something like that is gonna be warranted. Like I feel like that is gonna happen, but like that does not make or break the thing. I feel like it's very healthy because there's way less rooms to fuck up on. Like people were crying about Z moves because they're like, you can lose in 2 turns to a Z move potentially. Like some teams that completely like get blown up by a Z Magina or Z Komodo or whatever it is. Like, it was way different, you know. It was way different. You had to think about it. It was such a big utility. Like the worth of this Dynamax stuff, especially since you don't have to go to your designated mon. Oh, I'm baiting him to go to his Dynamax mon. No, that stuff is no more there.
That's not how it works. Like that's it. The threat has gone down. I get what you're saying, but the threat has gone down.
If somebody goes Corviknight and Dynamaxes, you can level out the playing field by Dynamaxing with your mon that's in front. Maybe it's not as good as a mon, but like
it's not gonna make as big of a difference as I think people thought. Like when we talk about how this, because we gotta say, how can we assume this will affect the new generation competitively? I don't think it's going to be that groundbreaking. It's not going to be on the level that Z moves and Megas were, and maybe that's something that the Pokemon company wants to do. Megas were insanely big, so were Z moves, like truly the most defining things of the meta game. But I don't think Dynamax is gonna follow like that.
I'm looking at VGC because they definitely took notes from VGC. That's the stuff they directly had a hand in, and stuff that, you know, they had a ban list for VGC when it comes to certain Megas, like Mega Kangaskhan, Mega Maw, all this stuff. Like,
yo, move your mic away from your mouth or something, because it's really cracking up. The quality is super horrible. Maybe it's better now.
Okay, how about now?
Yeah, it's better.
It's like it's a different, like, remember there was this point in time where people said you don't need to run a Mega anymore in Gen 7, right?
Yeah, there was a time like that. And it's true. In a lot of these games, you don't need a Mega.
But people were like, but you do need a Z move?
You do need a
Remember
Z move.
that?
Yeah, and I agree. You do need a Z move. You hurting yourself by not using the Z move.
I feel like with this, it's not a case of Dynamax or you do need a Dynamax. It's just gonna be there.
It's just gonna be there.
People are for sure gonna use it because it's a free.
People are gonna strategize it too. People are gonna find the most optimal way to use it. But in the beginning, I feel like people are just gonna throw this on their favorite Pokemon and just get an extra 50% HP, because that really is not going to be that meaningful. Yeah, for some Pokemon, okay, they get the boost. Now they can maybe get up another setup move. But like, but then what stops the defensive Pokemon from doing the same thing? And now they have 50% more HP, so they can take your attack. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like it's just even, like, on both sides of the game.
I think it's even on both sides. So I think it's kind of great in that sense.
I feel it's good. I feel like it's good. It takes a step back to Gen 5. Remember Gen 5?
What?
Like, weather was a big thing, but it was still about outplaying. There was no secret stuff like, oh, he's gonna drop it. Okay, gems, like power gems, which is the precursor to the Z moves, right?
Yeah.
But it had no boost to stats. It's just a one-time power boost. It's like a
power boost. Yeah, and it doesn't make bad moves into overpowered moves either. Gems were 1.5.
Exactly.
This makes like all moves broken, and this makes stuff like Dig broken too. Dig wasn't broken because of you know what I mean, and Fly. Like, it's too much, bro. And you also couldn't put Gem on non-attacking moves either.
Exactly. You can only use it for offensive moves and boost at 1.5. That was it.
Exactly. Now you got like Z Haze and all this stuff, and it's like, what?
You got Z Home Claws, you got Z shift, you got all Z conversion, you got all kind of stuff like that throws the game away. You know, you have special like Z Genesis Supernova. Like with this, like we going back to an age where Mons is more about you as the player, how you upplay the game. There's no complete centralization of a certain.
I think this will really be a more died down gen, like much simpler mechanics and less to worry about. Maybe. Like
looking back at the terrains and the weathers, like when you look at Arcanine using Max Flare, like when we heard about the new battle terrain, which we still don't know if this is going to be an in-game battlefield or an actual
or we don't know if this is something that like you can come up on or you set up a move or what.
Yeah, but looking at it, the way they substituted the Cocos and electric terrain setups with moves that set up electric terrain with these max moves,
max lightning.
I feel there, like you can choose, like you can set up teams to say, okay, I'm a because the items still exist. That's the whole thing. You can still have an item while being a Dynamax Pokemon because there's no link for a Mega Stone or a Z move anymore. You can Mega use your Grassy Terrain max move, right? And use your Grassy and then boost stuff like that. There's stuff you can do. Like there's I feel like there's so many options you can do, like so many setups that aren't broken anymore. There's no like there's gonna be stuff, but it's like centralization against it. You don't have to worry about, oh, he's gonna Dynamax, he's gonna Dynamax. It's still gonna be okay. how am I gonna bait him with this more? How am I gonna, double? How
It's
am I
not
gonna
like
read?
it's not like skill is
Skill-based.
completely out the window. If we want to talk about a generation that wanted to make skill the least, or like the least contributing factor, it was Gen 7. Gen 7 Gen 7 is easily the generation that rewards skill the least. That's not even a question to me. Gen 7 definitely rewards skill the least. It's definitely like a jackpot tier. Sometimes you just randomly have the right tech. But this, I feel like they're trying to dumb it down a lot more. Like very dry.
Like back in the day, you could fight matchup. Like even if you had a bad matchup, there was a certain mod.
No, but listen to me for a second. Let me talk. Like, look, we were talking all about how what's it called? Like they're trying to dumb down the game and stuff like that, and they get rid of all these like taboos, whatever conditions. But then we have max moves that set up all these different conditions too. So I don't really like. It's hard to say where they're going with this game. Like it's not. It's hard to make the claim that they're trying to dumb it down and make it a much simpler meta and less like blah 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 blah. Like because how can we say that? Because all these max moves now bring different conditions to the battlefield and stuff. Like, but is Dynamax just supposed to be like a novelty? Like what? I don't get it.
I feel like it's like they looked at how it used to be, like skill. Like obviously in Gen 5 you were a better player, Like matchup, there were obviously some matchups like against Rain or Sand or whatever, where you would be like, okay, this team in general is gonna have an easier time against another team, but you could outplay matchup, right? When we saw Gen 6 and 7, matchup was so key. Like you had such an insane advantage with matchup. Because there were certain mods that just shredded through another team, right?
That's fair.
I feel like how big of an impact Megas and Z moves are. I feel like Game Freak's mentality, looking at it from inside in, is like it's these exciting, this grandeur, these illusions, look how big Raichu got. It's so powerful. We just figured out as a player, it's just a 50% boost. It's not as menacing as it is, right?
Yeah.
That wants to play the game and exciting, I feel like they need a mechanic nowadays. They need something special just to sell the game and keep it fresh, like some kind of breath of fresh air. But at the same time, they are hearing people crying about how certain Z moves are broken, certain megas are broken.
Maybe. I don't know how much they care about the brokenness as much as. I mean, maybe they are looking like.
Sure.
At some point.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe they are like realizing like, okay, they got.
You're right.
And I think that and like what the decisions they've made kind of suggest that they're trying to power down the game a little bit, but I don't know.
I know exactly where you come from. Game Freak is in no way like meta knowledgeable.
Yeah, they're not influenced. They're not influenced by PS.
No reason they nerfed Gengar.
Exactly. They might be influenced by VGC a little bit, but that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
But other than that, what else should we touch on in this? I think we hit mostly everything. I don't know.
Game Freak is different. Like Game Freak and the fans has always been a disconnect when it comes to metagame and competitive. But that's something with Nintendo games as a whole. I feel like
there's always a disconnect.
Whether it be Smash or whatever.
The player,
I'm
competitive player base, and Nintendo always has some disconnect.
But I feel like this is a step in the right direction.
Yeah, me too. I think this is gonna be I'm excited to see what comes from this.
Because after Megas, I was like, what's next? Fusions? What's next? Explosions? Like, what do you like? Remember?
Nobody saw Z moves coming. That was like nobody saw Z moves coming. I mean, nobody saw Megas coming. That shit was
everybody, bro. We had tweets like before we got the trailer. People were like, "Please get rid of Megas. Please get rid of Z moves." Blah blah blah. This that. Like, I was scared there was gonna be another power jump, another jump.
I mean, there was another power jump, thanks to Z moves.
You know what I mean?
The power jump between Gen 6 and 7 is enormous, and the jump between 6 and 5 is enormous too.
You gotta look at it like you know the trading card game.
Yeah, sure.
From Pokemon,
I've never played it.
Every generation, every new season, the cards get more and more broken. There's like 50% more HP. Like all the moves are like there's a power I remember there's such a big power jump and creep every time. Which when you are a company, you want that because big numbers sells to these people, right? Kids want that. They want a Mega Gyarados EX with 3000 HP, blah blah blah. As a kid, you want to have a mega blah 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 or this and that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I thought they were just going jump ship and like just let's boost more, which I thought was gonna be horrible. But seeing them dialing back and at least like it's obvious they're not like being pros about it. They're not enlisting pro people or talking the show or whatever it is, or but at least they're putting attention towards it, which I can appreciate.
Yeah, all in all, I think Gen 8 will be good. I think this mechanic is good. I'm looking forward to it more now that we know that it's not as overpowered as people were worried about.
I welcome this.
Yeah, I like the direction we're going at with this game. I still free all the guys. We're still trying to see all the Pokemon, but this does kind of defend the theory that Game Freak is trying to power down the power creep and all that shit. But we'll see what happens with that. But Dynamax Gen 8, we coming soon.
Back.
That's it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace. Agency.